So hey ladies and gentlemen, it seemed Andy he had a lawsuit against people in Antifa and he lost the case. So it was a civil lawsuit that was against activists in Portland. The defendant John Colin Hacker and Elizabeth Renee Richard have been accused by senior editor of Post-Millennial Andy of assault, battery and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Defendants Hacker and Richards, who allegedly work as Antifa doxers, which after identifying had led to series of physical beatings on May 28, 2021. And you might be wondering what the heck is happening. Well, it seems specific people identified him in the public, screamed his name, maybe threw a few stuff, and they're like, well, they're not liable for screaming out that, hey, you're Angie and you're doing a report covering the Antifa, and it seems that you have been revealing people's faces on Twitter, which was actually public information. But what was very interesting though is what the lawyer that was defending these people was saying. During the closing statement, defense lawyer Michelle Burrows told the jurors that not only does she self-identify as a progressive and an anti-fascist, she strongly declared, "I am Antifa," and insisted upon making herself an "I am Antifa" t-shirt, which she said she would wear after the trial.
What? Oh no, see that's what we not about to do. Police, lock his ass up, yeah.
Despite Antifa's significant record history of violence, she told the jury that Antifa's unfavorable reputation is untrue and depicted the organized militant group as activists fighting for social justice and civil rights. I remember when they keep saying that, hey man, it's not an organization, it's just a message. I'm like, yeah. And now that message seems to be very organized. They got lawyers and everything, and seems they got funding too, but it's not organized.
Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you got it,
not militia.
The defense attorney went on to say that the journalist Angie has dirty hands. She indicated that is a doxer as well because he uploads publicly available mugshots of Antifa affiliated individuals that have committed crimes on his Twitter account, which has over 1 million followers. I find it rather weird that you compare that he is a doxer just like the people at Antifa, but the difference between him and Antifa, he comes with a camera, you come with a bunch of people that cover your face and then harass people and even try to fight them in many occasions, and the cops would not arrest you. They would arrest people that try to engage with you. I find it rather weird. However, as she argued before the jurors, Ms. Burrows admitted that the black-clad people that had physically beaten Angie in fact were terrorists. I see what she's doing, just like these people didn't really beat him, but they just pointed the finger in the right direction, so we need to arrest the terrorists, not these two people that are defending themselves with the lawyer. In addition, the defense lawyer said that since the US has an unregulated internet, Angie needs to take responsibility for the words he says on the internet, and added that his conduct has not been pristine. She also attacked credibility as a journalist despite providing the jury with no evidence of the allegation that would have discredited him, other than saying that he is a liar that provides half-truth. And before you come say to me that Post-Millennial from this article is biased because Angie is working for them, Judge Sina Plasha informed the court that the trial's jurors have raised concerns about being doxxed and claimed that people have been trying to find out their identities. Just the idea that people are trying to find out the jurors' identity so they can dox them, and the fact they would fear for their lives. There's no way I can trust a juror anymore if they're going to say something because they want the truth, or they're going to say something because they feel their safety is in danger. After announcing her retirement and that this would be her last trial, Burrows told the jurors that she will remember each one of their faces.
Find out the hard way. The hard way.
Burrows did not take the time to provide evidence as to why the two defendants should be free from charges, but rather used the time to defend anti-fascism and attack credibility as a journalist. This is a defense lawyer. You are defending just a beautiful idea. You didn't even challenge the footage that they have. You're like, we're doing the best thing we can. We're trying to do a good thing. Life is good. We have some terrorists dressed in black, but we're not all like that. But they did not really do that to Andy No. They just point the finger, hey, that's Andy No, and everybody ran after him and something happened.
Is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
The attorney of Andy No, Dorothy Yamato, had a different approach in her closing statement. Yamato went through each charge levied against defendant Hacker and Richard and provided the jury with substantial evidence related to each charge. Because the issue is when you go do reporting about the damages about a specific group that you says that is not organized, and you try to record it and you label the bad people because they're wearing masks. If they find out, this is what will happen to you.
My property right now.
Holocaust denying bitch.
Trespassing.
I can't wait for you to come out, Andy. You thought the milkshakes were bad last time. We're gonna beat the fuck out of you, bitch. Y'all, Andy No's here at the Nines Hotel. Andy No's inside the hotel calling the cops on everyone, saying that he's gonna get killed out here.
Stop! Nazi, stop! You see my face, Andy? Andy, you see my face? You see my fucking face? Come on, Andy! Where is it? Yeah!
Look man, if somebody is screaming at me like that, I'm going to be under some emotional distress if I want to do my job, and I know this is a new normal for me. It makes no sense. It feels like the justice system is failing even the best of any people.
Also, the facts of the case, Andy No being like, here's a video of me being mercilessly beaten in the street on more than one occasion. Here's a guy who admitted to attacking me in a gym. I need help. Then the defense attorney looks at the jurors and says, I'll remember all of your faces. And they're like...
Oh, the defense attorney, yes, not the prosecutor.
The defense attorney. Then the jurors are watching these people mercilessly beat innocent people. And that's not in question. We watch them do it on camera. And then the jurors are told, we will never forget what you do this day. The jurors are basically thinking to themselves, I don't have anything to do with this. But they're coward.
Because look, remember George Floyd when the thing happened over there? There was an Asian person cop that was like, I need to put a barrier so the cops can do their job because that's your job. You're not the one there. You're just trying to push people away. No, we don't want gangster riot. I'm trying to keep peace. He got 5 years in prison and...
To be perfectly honest, after 3 years of reflection, I was hoping for a little more remorse, regret, acknowledgement of some responsibility, and less preaching. Our culpability is less than Mr. Chauvin, but well above Mr. King and Mr. Lane as an experienced senior officer who was in the best position to save George Floyd. You are sentenced to 57 months in prison with credit for 340 days already served.
They want destruction sometimes. The whole idea of how cops have to work, like you're making being good harder. But don't worry people, they got the solution.
Welcome back. There's controversy this morning in Illinois after a newly signed law will now let non-U.S. citizens become police officers.
Hey, don't. Ain't nothing you can do, man. Don't do that. Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
But now that you guys have a summary of the story, you can do your own research, like, share, hit the bell notification if it was educational, and see you guys in the next one.